Hey, and welcome to my journey. Today's video was not going to be made because I'm supposed to have a colonoscopy Monday. Supposed to be doing prep these 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Didn't want to do a meal prep to start eating on Tuesday and then last through the rest of the week. So I told you on my menu plan, no prep this week. Told David, best part about this weekend is going to be not having to get up and prep. Well, you know how things change. This is the colonoscopy that seems like it's never going to be. This time, they didn't get in all the prep supplies that I needed. They didn't read the prescription right. I needed 2 bottles. They only gave me 1, so I had to call and go through all that and explain to him what my paperwork says. And it was, oh my gosh. So he says, well, he'll have to contact the doctor. Well, I kind of assumed he would let me know. He says, I'm going to go ahead and put your order in because, see, it didn't come in to begin with because they said it was a manufacturer back order. But then all of a sudden it came in. Well, he said, I'll go ahead and put the order in. So, you know, if it is, he was like, if it is supposed to be 2. And I'm like, no, it is supposed to be 2. Anyway, we'll have it. I said, okay, good. He didn't call me to let me know that, guess what? It didn't come in. He also did not hear from the doctor, so I don't know what time he called the doctor. Well, I said, obviously I'm going to have to reschedule it. Well, I called the doctor. She didn't take my birthday or nothing. She says, I'll get you to somebody to reschedule that for you. Nobody knows my full name, birthday, the reason why I'm not there. So if I don't show up Monday morning, are they going to send me a cancellation charge? I'm going to have to call them first thing in the morning, Monday morning, because the woman didn't call me back, had to leave a message to make an appointment. She never called me back. 2 hours, never called me back. So here I sit in front of you with a meal prep. I had Sebastian. I went back there. I started thumbing through my recipes. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to throw together. Put me a quick food line pickup order together so I could go have my supplies ready. And as Barney Fife would say, here I am. We are having Chilaquiles, El Rancho, Merlita. Those are, it is a casserole. It is a casserole. I made it before and I've cut it in half this time because I don't need as many. The first time I made it as the recipe stated, but I don't need that many servings, so I cut it in half. So we're having that for breakfast, and lunch is a BLT Chicken Salad. And I'm just going to put the recipe on my website. I didn't really make changes other than the type of ingredients I use. Like they use real bacon. Well, I use real bacon too, but they use like bacon that you have to cook from raw. I use fully cooked bacon that I just crisped up, those type of things. So I'm not even going to type anything out. I'm just going to put it on there and you can see the recipe over on the original website, which I can't think of what it is right off the bat. And then I said, well, since I had this yogurt I had to use up that's been sitting in my refrigerator for way too long, still good. What do you do when you have a bunch of Fage yogurt? You make a pound dropper cheesecake. I made the Funfetti one this time, and I made it last night so I could film it and have it ready today with the rest of my things. So you will see that as well, which you've seen a million times because I love those cheesecakes. I'm thinking since it's coming into the fall season, the next one I make will have to be pumpkin spice. Will just have to be. So that's what we're having today. Glad I got to see you, even though it wasn't planned. Glad I got to see you anyway. So let's turn around and get started cooking. For our Chilaquiles, El Rancho, Merlita, I am cutting the recipe in half from what I made it last time because it made 8 servings, and I don't need 8 servings. That really was too much. So this will just make 4 servings. So I have 4 eggs. I'm just going to beat a little bit. I'm going to add half a cup of milk. I started to think I had too much, but I don't. So we'll just beat this together until it's combined. Now the next thing we need is 1 cup of cottage cheese You can use, I guess, whatever kind of cottage cheese you want. I'm just using the regular full fat. Mix this in. The rest we can just stir in with a spatula. I have 3 green onions. 2 to 4 was the full recipe, so 3 sounded good to me. And then half a can, which will be 2 ounces of diced green chilies. And those are undrained, so you can scoop them right out of the can. 1 cup of sharp shredded cheddar cheese, or cheese of your choice. 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro, and 5 of these, the Mission yellow corn tortillas. These are the extra thin. That's what I substituted last time because I didn't have regular, and it worked just fine. So I'm going to stick with what worked. We just need to mix this together really well. Now, the original recipe calls for letting it sit in the refrigerator overnight. When I made it last time, I didn't have the refrigerator room to put a bowl or a casserole dish. So I just let it sit out on the counter for a half an hour, and it worked just fine. I think maybe because these are thin tortillas, they get softer a little quicker than the thick ones would. So you can do it either way. All right. When this soaks, we'll be back to put it in our casserole dish. Here is the mixture I put in an 8x8 sprayed casserole dish. I'm assuming it's going to cook as long as the 13x9 did, which was 55 minutes at 350. I will keep a check on it just to make sure when it's set up that it's not getting too brown around the edges and whatnot. And I'll let you know how long this one took. First thing we need to do for our BLT chicken salad is to cook the chicken. You can cook it on the stove, in a pot of water, in the oven, however you want to cook your chicken. I'm going to do it in an Instant Pot, and I didn't thaw it last night, but you can cook it frozen, so you just cook it a little longer. Instead of 7 minutes that I do my thawed chicken, 14 minutes for frozen, and then let it naturally release for 10, and just chop it or shred it, however you want to have it in your salad. So the chicken's already cooked. Now I'm going to do the bacon. It calls for 5 slices of bacon, but I have this fully cooked bacon on hand that I used for my pork chops, so I'm just going to use that. And I want it, it's fully cooked. You can cook it in the microwave, but I want it nice and crispy. So I'm just going to cut it into small pieces into this frying pan, and just, it won't take it long at all, since like I said, it's already cooked. But I'll just stir this around until it gets good and crispy. So now what I have is a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. This is Duke's Light. I'm going to add some black pepper. Not much, because I don't really like very strong pepper. I'm going to add my chicken. You can see 14 minutes frozen. It's perfectly cooked. Then I need 2 green onions. If it doesn't look like enough, I'm going to add some more. So let me slice these up. Now I have 6 cherry tomatoes. It says to quarter them, but they're grape tomatoes, and they're a little bit bigger than I would want in a bite, I think. Let me see. I'm going to actually quarter mine and then quarter them again, just for my personal taste. You can cut them however you would like. Then we will add in our bacon. And all we have to do is mix it around. Now, you could add salt now, or just wait and add it when you eat it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I did season the chicken when I was cooking it. It calls for 2 chicken breasts. I don't think I told you how much I had in there. I had 1 big one and 1 little one, but I think that evened out. Now I'm going to have just a scoop of this on some shredded lettuce that I bought. And I think that will be good. Well, y'all have seen me make this a million times, but I'm going to make a pound dropper cheesecake. This is the Funfetti. I had a yogurt, and you need to use Fayette or Chobani. Those are the best ones for this cheesecake. And I had to use this before it went bad. I've had it and not had a use for it, so I thought, I have everything else on hand. Let's make a cheesecake. So this is 3 cups of non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and I'm going to add 3 eggs and 3 tablespoons of sugar substitute. I'm using the Truvia Sweet Complete. And we're going to use a hand mixer. I've told y'all this about a million times too. It is hard to do with a whisk unless you are very strong. I suggest electric mixer. So we're going to mix this until it's smooth. Okay, then what we have next is 1 box of sugar-free pudding. You can use vanilla, cheesecake, lemon, whichever one you want to use. I'm using cheesecake today. Three tablespoons of Funfetti cake mix. Not sugar-free because they don't have it. It's just regular cake mix. So 3 tablespoons of that. 2 tablespoons of sprinkles. And 2 teaspoons of flavoring. She says vanilla, cake batter, or butter. I have butter and I have vanilla, but I also have cream cheese because I'm out of cake batter. So I thought, cheesecake, cream cheese, we'll try it. So 2 teaspoons of that. I got this off of Amazon, which it is in my little Amazon storefront, if you care to go look. Just some things that I have bought that I like. And then we're going to mix this up really good. Now, you're supposed to use a spring form, but I don't have a spring form. Y'all know that I have my 10 by 10 Corningware dish. It just makes 9 squares instead of 8 slices, and it works out perfect. This is what I've used for as long as I've been making these cheesecakes. So let me put this in here. I'm going to put it in here without getting in front of y'all. Okay, there was somehow some yogurt left at the bottom. I had to mix it up in this pan, but it mixed up. So we're just going to spread this out. This will bake in a preheated 350 degree oven for 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the dot. I don't know. I say 30 minutes on the dot because that's how mine always does. But now that I'm thinking of it, I don't know if a springform pan would require more or not. But this right here bakes 30 minutes on the dot and it's perfect. So I'll see you after that. Okay, I want you to see how it puffs up. It will settle down and get thinner. I let mine cool completely on the counter before I put it in the fridge. You have to let it sit in the fridge overnight before you eat it. Here is my trial and error, what I've learned over the years. And I've been making it for years. Before you cover it in plastic wrap, put a piece of paper towel over in between the dish and the plastic wrap to catch any condensation, just in case it was not completely cool and it will settle on the plastic wrap, and then like when you take it off it's going to drip on your cheesecake and that's not going to be good. What I use is this beeswax coated material that I got at where's that? Trader Joe's a couple years ago. I had to finally cut me a new piece because my other one, I only used it for cheesecakes, and I had used it so many times that the wax was finally peeling off. So this is my brand new piece, but that's what I'll do. And then this is the night before prep, so I will show you tomorrow what it looks like when it's ready to cut. So here is what we're having this week. The Chilaquiles El Rancho Merlita. You can see the texture of that. This one only took 45 minutes. And it's set up perfectly. So I will scoop those into containers. So that's my breakfast. And then my lunch is this BLT Chicken Salad. And like I said, I will eat that on some shredded lettuce. And then my dessert and snacks will be this Pound Droppers Funfetti Cheesecake. And here's what my piece looks like. It's a little thinner than you would have in your springform pan, I imagine. But these are just fine with me. So I've got them cut. I'll just leave them in that, cover them back up, and pop it back in the refrigerator. So that is it for me this week. I think I pulled together a pretty quick, tasty little meal prep this week. And I hope you're having a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one.